Welcome traders. Welcome back to another live trading session here in Forex Trading Wizard Academy. Another trading day, looking at few instruments to trade as we are progressing towards busy trading session. Welcome. And this is NFP, guys. Pretty big trading week, looking at potential trading opportunity later today. All right, so let's begin another trading week, and thank you for joining here. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Looking at later today trading opportunity here in that market, and we'll be looking at few positions to open as soon as it appears. Greeting, good day, hello everyone. Thanks for joining here. And we are looking at here in this market to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. And I'm beginning with some initial analysis, multiple time frame analysis to look at where the market is heading. I hope all members are here. Thanks for joining. And let's begin. First of all, thank you. Okay, so let's beginning first of all with, as usual, we will be starting with gold analysis. And the market trend is, if you look at it's pretty, it's pretty predictable that you can see the market is trending in the major direction. Now, first of all, in this market, I would like to look at the bigger picture here, looking at the daily chart. If you looked at the previous analysis, quite a few have been made. We have seen that gold is just passing this golden ratio, and this is the daily Fibonacci level. If you look at here, the market has reached that daily Fibonacci level, which is a key zone, and off this daily Fibonacci level, now the price is started to push back again to the upside here in that area. Now with this rejection to the upside in this Fibonacci, from this Fibonacci level, from this golden ratio, the market is now approaching towards the upside. And if you look at the weekly, we are middle of the week. We are in the middle of the week, and the market trend, that market structure that you can see here, is signaling further escalation. That means trending, right? So this word is very common now. So you guys probably have got that. So that's why I have used it. I guess you guys like it. So now, if you look at here in that zone, there is a massive fair value gap in this area, right? And with this fair value gap, as the market is having the trend back to the upside with this fair value gap, the potential that this price will continue to rise here back above to create a new higher high, which is a high liquidity zone. And from the weekly and from daily, that you can see this market is showing that uptrending market structure. And with this uptrending market structure here, that there is a, if you look at, there is an imbalance here. All right, so that imbalance, the market is approaching that imbalance, and chances that the price is going to go and fill that zone potentially to create a new higher high. So we saw that daily and other time frames. So I'm looking at here the 1 hour price action, and in this lower time frame, from this 1 hour perspective here, all right, so if you look at, also the price has reached that key level, which is the key level of resistance, and with this key level, the market has reached that zone where there is a high area of value, and the price action here shows that there is a higher low, and of this higher low, initial breakout, pullback, the price tested this support here, another breakout, and from the 1 hour perspective, if you look at after this previous 1 hour bullish engulfer here, this session the market is going back to the upside. Now here is our primary objective, is to look for an entry from a key level, right? Not only key level, probably the most intense area of value. This is what we are looking at in this market. This is the technical aspect that I'm looking at here in this market. And with this technical aspect, with this technical movement that you can see, the market eventually could continue to rise here back above. And here is where there is a double bottom breakout. So all this, the price action signaling that this market is potentially to continue to rise here back above. And that's what we have opened just in few hours in London session. We have opened our first position, which has given us that bullish price action. We open that buy, and I will not be hesitant to show that here. This is a real trade. Right. Let's bring it up here. We just secured this one. Now the buy entry, that trade also sent out in the premium signal group. The trade was opened at 4725 and stop loss at 4712 and TP target 4732, and that has successfully been closed at this level, right? So today's market trend is up, and our trade is in the up. Our trade is in the bullish side, right? That's where the key to look at an entry in the direction of the trend. Now, if you look at here, we see that from this golden issue, there is a liquidity sweep, and the market is now heading back to the upside in the major direction of the trend. And that's what we can see in this area. Here is a bullish engulfer with this red narrow candlestick pattern formation here. There is a rejection back to the upside with a full body green candle, and that full body green candle has given a momentum, which is now breaking this market back above and approaching this another new higher high. And with this new higher high, that looking at this market to eventually trend and then to continue to rise back above. And this is what I'm looking at for potential upside continuation here in this market to create a new higher high. And there is if you look at off this support, there is an initial breakout which is giving its momentum back above here, and that is what here is also a channel that you can see. And off this channel, this is a lower time frame channel. Channel is very important because this, whenever the market is breaking out of the channel, we can look for an entry. How do I join the premium group? Thank you very much. We have few pathways currently to join the premium group. Firstly, if you directly want to join, currently few spots available. You can see the mentorship, or so each Sunday there is a directly we have few entries coming each Sunday, and if you want to get access to the premium, then join the Sunday Zoom session. And so the Zoom link or the premium, the free Telegram, the link is given in the free Telegram. So you can join the free Telegram. And also I'm sharing the Zoom link here. If you guys want to just stay connected with the Zoom. So this is scheduled Zoom session for Sunday in London session time. I have shared that here, and you can just book there, and I highly encourage you to join on Sunday's Zoom session. Throughout this Zoom, using if you are joining the Zoom session on Sunday, from there you may be able to get access to the Premium Academy, premium access to the all those strategies that we are using, as well as the trade ideas that we are sharing. So this Zoom session scheduled for the same time at this time on Sunday, and where we will be having an extended discussion. And of this extended discussion of this Zoom session, for those who will be dedicated to join the academy, because I would like to see those many of the traders who are not serious, just want to have some time, but the serious trader can get access to the academy, and this academy is for the real traders. We are, if you guys look at, we are a chat group, premium group, a discussion group, and you can get access to the whole the courses, signal entry, as well as the automated system robot that I'm using as well. But only those who are really dedicated to become a trader, so you can get access to that on Sunday Zoom. I've shared with you the Zoom link, as well as the access, so stay connected there for that time, for the availability. Now here is what we are looking at on gold. Now if you look at technically, the market trend is up, and because the market trend is up, we could see that this price action potentially to continue to rise here back above, and now for us to be able to enter, we need to add all the links of the puzzle, right? Not only the technical, we have to look at what is now sentiment, why gold is going up. Let's look at also today's calendar that you will be looking at. If you look at the calendar here, that you can see coming up on, so we'll see that tomorrow, today. Okay, so yeah, coming up in few hours. Okay, so we'll see some speech coming, which is later today. So a big day for in terms of the news calendar. If you look at, okay, now coming up in just a matter of an hour, less than an hour, ADP non-farm employment change, and then core retail sales, right? And also later today coming ISM manufacturing PMI, which is in later. And tomorrow will come, so President Trump will speak tomorrow. That's tomorrow's we will be doing in, this is on the daytime here, so we will not be on live, but I will put a later today a potential analysis on that, what might happen. Potentially anything can happen, but the market will be pretty volatile on that. And also coming up, these are tomorrow, so today's primary focus that coming here on ADP non-farm employment change, and also core retail sales and retail sales. Okay, so this is a ADP non-farm employment change, and also tomorrow, Friday coming up, non-farm employment change. So, and this is the first one will be also indication of how there might be later, how the market might be doing later here. Now, with this current upcoming event, also we are looking at here on the, if you look at a couple of, we saw that gold has started to move up. We see a couple of news has come out. There is I think there is a news from Iranian parliament. The Strait of Hormuz will not open and will not held any negotiation and will not hold them. Okay, so that's there is a, so they are saying that it's not open. So how does that also look at how it has influenced the pricing on the oil and energy? You are preparing to join military effort to open a Strait of Hormuz, official says. So there is some new information here that probably Gulf also preparing for joining the effort to open a Strait of Hormuz. So Trump emissions is also 6 hours ago. Withdrawal from Iran war within 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so some info that combining with the calendar. Now today's primary market mover will be the ADP non-farm employment change and also core retail sales. Now, if we look at one very important point that I would like to look at, guys, is we saw that in the beginning of the week, gold was in a bearish mode. If you look at the weekly, right? And this week, immediately we saw that there was a rejection back to the upside. We saw that technically it's, here it come to this support. But what is the sentiment relationship to this movement on gold? That is what really matter of fact that we need to look at here. How does that has influenced the market? So if you look at that on especially the sentiment, right? How about WTI? And I'd like to see also the DXY. If you look at DXY, is after this bearish engulfer, the market started to break that low, right? And from the weekly, where is the previous weekly bullish candlestick pattern from the monthly as well? The candle closed with a long wick and is trying to break that low here. Now, the fundamental as well as the sentiment aspect of this movement is mostly de-escalation, or I would say that, if you look at the current, the most viewed aspect of the war is 2 to 3 weeks timeline of Iran war to be ended, right? This is what we have seen in one direction. So that has created optimism, and you can see that we see some DXY is trying to break that low. And this is the fundamental. But the technically, if you look at, there was a flag pattern here on DXY. The market has gone back to the upside. What I think that this market is possibly coming further lower before it trend back again. Do you think so? Do you think DXY will change the trend and continue to drop? Because there is a significant bullish price action has been made along the way. And I would like to start with a pool about DXY. Let's look at first of all gold one, as there will be news in few minutes. So you want to take that news move here. Let's look at this is the 1 hour price action, and then we will be also starting a pool, because most of the time the pool results came out to be interestingly correct. So what's your bias on XAUUSD? So I've shared a pool, and if you guys enjoy that, make sure you cast a vote on this, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Cool. Now, with this initial move back to the upside on XAUUSD, as you see that the trend potentially to continue, and with this trend continuation, where there is a support here, and also there is a support here. This is what I'm looking at in this market. 4 hour price action is quite interesting. Started this move, it's a complete bullish impulse back to the upside on the 4 hour chart, except one narrow red candle, one narrow red candlestick pattern, which is quite a bit of rejection of this, and then the market has started to move up from that zone, which is going that the market eventually could continue to rise here back above. And looking at the past area here, there's a quite a bit of imbalance here in that zone. If you look at the daily, this is a complete imbalance from this high to this low, and because it's on an imbalance, here is I'm looking at for another buying in that market. Now, lower time frame, again, I'm going back to very lower time frame because we might find an entry here. We had just secured our first trade during the London session, and our buy trade was 4725, and the stop loss was 4712, TV target 4732. Now, this trade was open with the London session breakout. I already, previously, for those who have just started trading, I was discussing about this strategy over and over again, especially when there is a session breakout. How did that work? You see that this is what we need to look at, guys. This is what I always explain, and this is what I mostly focus. Trading is, remember that when a traders make a trading decision, sometimes you need to make a trading decision within a minute, right? If you want to make a trading decision within a minute, How many factors that you can look at? How many confluence you can look at? So simple. Just look at the previous swing low in an uptrend and see how the market has broken from that swing low. Is this a one single move? It has a bigger ATR. That's all, right? That's all you need. And that is what you can see the market has bounced off that level. Patience is needed to take this kind of trade. And this is what we are looking at here in this market again and again. Same setup, repeat over and over again until you become master. If you're not sure you're a master or no, if you're not sure being able to trade this market, don't miss out this Sunday Zoom session. I've shared the Zoom link directly on the live chat here with meeting ID and password. You can just now book that session on Sunday directly with me live, and from that session see how we trade, and we'll see that if you're dedicated, you will be upgraded to the premium group where you can access every educational content, including the trading tools, indicators. Now, some people might say this is an indicator. This is not an indicator. This is a directly signal generator. Now, this signal generator will not give you all trade winner, but you can see on your own eyes. There's one trade generated here, straight bounce back. There's another one is, there's another is. This one, this sell trade didn't work out. But the other, all of them worked out. 3 of them worked out. This is 1 minute chart on gold. The only thing that you need to make sure you can manage the risk, right? You can manage the risk. You can use the lot size calculator. Now this is an invite only script. This is one of my best strategy translated into a Pine script, exclusively available for the members of the academy. So I can give it here. The only thing that you need lesson behind it. Okay, now going to the zone here. All right, now we are looking towards as RAP non-farm employment change coming. This trend now is continuing. This is what I call the very, very strong phase here. Usually it is not a good idea to trade in a very highly moving market. Wait for the breakout structure. Identify the previous swing levels, the major swing lows. Here is the previous major swing low. And this is my plan here now. Waiting for a breakout structure to 4746 level. And that is where you can find the best trade. If it isn't coming here, then you're not negotiating, right? You're waiting for that to come. Hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense, no problem. In the beginning of my trading, nothing made sense to me, right? Just looking at the candlestick pattern, it doesn't look to me what it is. Just going this side and this side until I learned that how to. You don't have to reinvent the light bulb, right? So make sure that you take everything with, you can write it on the notes. Nowadays people doesn't use any more pen. I saw that abandoning all the pens and paper. Do you use pen and paper anymore? All right, probably the shortage of trees. Thank you. Okay, here is the move. Okay, good to hear that. The kids might abandon the pen and paper. Okay, so here is the support, and the market is trying to go back here. They're expecting it to come back. You know, patience is key. And this is a very old school thought, but that is where the trading happens. Okay, it's coming here to this key support level, and we have news coming in just a matter of less than 30 minutes. But are you going to open position? Yes, if the market comes to the right place, we will be, because we trade on lower time frame, sometime few minutes needed for us to be able to access, to be able to get into the profit zone. The current level that I'm looking at 4746 for any kind of entry. So we see that 16 port, can you cast a port? We see that almost 81% showing bullish. It's an uptrend, and that's very, very normal to look at that speed here. I think going to the daily opening or a big drop below is more likely than bullish move with the news. That's a good point. Now, if this market is going to go long for the rest of the week, I think that the market may not straight drop back to the daily low, because if it is a reversal, okay, so if you look at, if it is a reversal, then there will be huge momentum in this market. Why? Because look at the past, the move that happened from this top to this level to this low. So from this high to this low, we saw that there was an all-time high created. Of this all-time high has come back to this support. Okay, now because the market has created this long rejection, we saw that there is another one has created in the similar way but extended below, right? This is the next one that has extended below, and now it is an all-time high market structure. And with this all-time high, the price action may continue to rise here back above, if it potentially going back to create a new higher high. And gold was expensive, right? We have seen that throughout the week there was a significant bullish move on gold. And with this bullish move on gold, we have seen there was a, with significant move on gold, there has been significant price action that we have seen throughout the week. Now at this point, if you look at from this support level, okay, from this support there is a inverted head and shoulder breakout, sideways movement. It's maintaining its uptrend here, and with this uptrending movement we could see that this market is maintaining its move back. So therefore the price action here showing that there is an uptrend here, the market is continue to rise back, and you could see that price to continue to rise back here above to create a new higher high. Okay, with this move back below, here we are looking to see that the market is coming back below to the support, and with this support they're expecting it to come back down and then to create a new higher high. The current level that I'm looking at 4746, which is the key support area, to retest and then to potentially to return again back above in the major direction of the trend. So there is a daily initially we have seen there is a significant bullish breakout, and that bullish breakout has given a momentum here in that market. This is a simple way, guys. Trading with the trend is the most profitable way that you can do ever trading. So this is what I always look at, trading with the trend and then trade based on strategies. That's the key. Can you analyze from first up to weight entry? Yes, we are looking at to do the full analysis, and definitely the market is constantly changing. So you're looking to analyze from the multiple time frame perspective, and that's the key to look at. Now, if you look at here from this support, we have seen initial move, pullback, another move. We can see that there is a deeper pullback here, Now, overall market trend that you can see in this market is bullish. We had our earlier trade during the London session time. If you looked at that, we have seen this market is trending and creating series of higher high and higher low. Now, if I look at the 1 hour perspective, we are going towards ADP non-farm employment change data coming, and in that market that we can see this is maintaining its uptrend, creating series of higher high and higher low. Now, from the intraday, if you look at the 4 hour chart, here we can see the market trend is up. So from the multiple time frame, if you look at the price is trading above 10 exponential moving averages. Now, how do you know that what is the momentum in the trend and how fast we could see that movement is from the, if you look at those series of higher low that you can see. So those series of higher low is important because when the market is moving with this series of higher low, chances that this price is continue to rise back here. Because there is a series of higher low means that there is a stronger buying pressure. I'm looking at the 5 minutes. As you can see that there is a upside here, a smaller consolidation. This is basically this kind of consolidation might create a new opportunity here for the market to reverse again back in that area. All right, so there is a consolidation here that you can see in this area. And with this consolidation, the current level of support is here. Why we looked at the support? Because this is the major swing low. If you look at this trend, you can see that starting from here, a bounce, pullback. Every time the market is maintaining this series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrend, guys. This is what also key to look at. What level is important? See the previous swing high, which is turning swing low here. All right, and the overall market trend is the key. So if you look at, always zoom out and look at the bigger picture, not only in trading but also in every aspect. Bigger picture is the key. Most people don't see the bigger picture. They just react with the smaller picture. When you can see the bigger picture, you will see that everything is upside down, right? Bigger picture is key. Look at the 5 years, 10 years. Where you want to go, what you want to do, that is where it makes a big difference. And those who look at the bigger picture always stay ahead in anything, right? So see the picture and then look at that. So that being said, if you look at here, if we look at in this zone here, we can see that this is a smaller picture, narrow downtrend, right? Smaller picture, you will be looking at the narrow zone. When you look at the bigger picture, you can see it's actually an uptrend, but this is potentially a pullback in that uptrend. And that is where the key to look at. Now, therefore, from the bigger picture perspective, it is a bullish market. That means an uptrending market. We are looking at here for this deeper pullback for us to be able to look at another entry back to the upside here in that market. Awesome. Now we have around 14 minutes for the news to come up. The market is coming to a zone where you might see that another, this is the 1 hour price action, just it's closed. And I will be looking to see an entry shortly. The only thing that is the news coming up, right? Now you don't want to also run a trade or enter in a news. So that is what I'm looking at in this price action. For the market to test and then to return again back. Thank you very much. How about NASDAQ? I am on sell. I think we should break 23700. Thought on it. New trade on NASDAQ. Okay, so firstly, this is currently in an uptrend, but after this massive deepen, start to move up. This week, NASDAQ was in an uptrend. So with the monthly close, it took, I think there might be some bullish move coming, at least for short term on NASDAQ. If you look at here, there is a narrow candlestick pattern on the monthly, back to back 2 months. Though it left a long wick here, there is an inverted head and shoulder, an entire break above. So depending on what time frame you are trading, but we can see some uptrending market structure on NASDAQ. And what we could see here, because it established a new uptrend in this area from the lower time frame, we might see a break of structure for buying again. So yeah, there might be some upside bias on NASDAQ. If that is on here, on gold, that also in an uptrend and it's trying to melt down back below. Okay, so it has come to this support now. Only restriction for us or obstacle is the news coming up. And we don't want to enter in extremely high volatile market. So this is our plan, the level for us to be able to enter. And let's wait another 10 minutes. Let the data to come up, while also we are looking at the market to see that how it can enhance the probability. So this is a I'm just drawing the trend line here, okay, on the 1 minute. And in that trend line, so you can see that there is a breakout structure, so it might now deepen further here. And let's level up the intraday support here as well from the 4 hour, and that is gonna give us a possible buy opportunity if the market drops well below. How far it might drop, we don't know, but there is some drop coming. Not droplet, not the water drop, but the or nothing something drop, but the drop here in the market. And okay, it formed a pretty long pin bar here. Here is the support, and with the support, the market, we have 3 minutes for the news to come up, and we are seeing that the market, what I think, you guys see that there is a consolidation, and not yet. We are waiting for the data to be published, because if you look at the news coming, and here is we have only 1 minute for the news to come up, and with this 1 minute, with ADP non-farm employment change, with the upcoming data, we will see there is a spike potentially, and you want to avoid the spike, right? You also want to avoid the spike, because you don't want to enter into the spike. There's a massive spread widening, and once the spread widens, then we can look at that entry. All right, so looking at here, a few seconds remaining for the data to come up. We have only a few seconds. Coming up, ADP non-farm employment change, and cool. Still not coming. So what kind of reaction that we can see in the market? Let's wait to see that. We might be able to find shortly after potential entry that I'm looking at here. Still not coming here. It's interesting. It's taking a bit of time here. That from the intraday, from the 4 hour, the price has dropped to that, and 62k. So the data has come out to be positive for DXY, which is 62k ADP non-farm employment change, almost 50% up. So that has, let's say that what the DXY started to trying to pick up. Is there any big move? Not yet. It might start. So yeah, so XAUUSD trying to push back here. If DXY is going up, we might see that gold to come down here, but depending on how the market react to that data. USD/JPY also was in a significant here in this lower time frame downtrend, so that might be if you look at in this area, the price may from this level could bounce back up, or we might see the new lower low creation. So gold may remain here in the trend. So basically, when you see that ADP non-farm employment change higher data, which is risk on sentiment, and risk on sentiment usually creates, at least for short-term, bearish bias on gold. So how do you interpret this data? So if you look at the bigger job data, signals stronger economic activities. So that has usually, if any data that signals weaker economy, more gold, more like the more people buy gold because it's safe haven. Usually that's how the market react. And now with the stronger data, more like people are mostly selling gold for short term, at least as a trader. So that's how the market react to those data, though they're not permanently changing the trend, most likely more often. So that being said, if we look at with the ADP non-farm employment change, higher data has created this. If you look at this bearish move on gold, has dropped to that level. So there might be some further move here that you could see in this area. And you can see the market is showing that pattern. And I think, so yeah, DXY has started to try to push back here to the upside. And now I'll be deleting those levels to see actually where the market is now pushing. Now if you look at the daily, it's just breaking off that daily high. So the overall trend that you can see here in this market with the weekly, this is the weekly opening candle, the Monday's candle, and the first 3 days we have seen the market has gone up. It is not unusual to see that the market will be here for a deeper pullback, and you will be looking at here. Now the data has gone. Is there any news coming? Okay, let's see here now on this with the ADP non-farm employment change. Also there are two other news coming in just a matter of 10 minutes, right? So it's still not time for us to enter, but to analyze the chart so that we can have a better entry. In this 10 minutes time, because the market is trending, you can see that it's still showing bearish market structure. We could see that further continuation here, and that might take this price. I think we could see for some period of time the market trend is continuing here, and that might be bringing that price further lower to create a new lower. Let's see that where it is heading. And by the way, if you haven't liked this stream, make sure you do so, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Also stay connected by joining the Telegram. You can find link below this video. Where also each Sunday I'm organizing an exclusive interactive Zoom session. Now in that Zoom session, from that session also, if you are dedicated to become a trader, you can access all the resources available in the academy to learn and grow as a trader, including courses, chat group entry, signal group entry. So don't miss out that event if you really want to take your trading to the next level. And this is only currently at the moment the pathway that you can get into the entry to the academy. And so what you can see, the crossover of 10 and 20 MA in this area, in this zone here, there has been some selling pressure. Around 8 minutes for the next news to come up, two of them. So there will be core retail sales and retail sales. Combining all together will give an economic outlook. Now before this data come up, Let's also understand that how this data plays role in the market, right? So let's say ADP non-farm employment change, pretty higher data. So that means more during this period there has been so the forecast, that means, was 41k expected, but the actual 62k. So that means that during this time period there was much more than expected people has been employed and paid off. So now if core retail sales and retail sales also, let's see how so those indicators usually are the way the economy is functioning during that time period, because this is only the way, otherwise you can't know from the looking from the surface that how the economy is going on. And especially the traders cares about them, because these indicators will give confidence to the traders or investors either to go for the risk on or go for the risk off. Because as a trader you need to trade, right? Either whatever the data come up, we will be trading, but what kind of trade you should be trading? Are you going for risk off or risk on? Because usually the positive data brings risk on. That means you can take risk for more reward, because everything is risk reward, right? The more risk you have, the higher reward you will have. Let's have a little bit of music on. Welcome. Buy entry already taken on, waiting on buy entry. No, not yet. Yep. So Ring Brothers, we are having big news in 3 minutes. Yes, there is another one coming. Thank you. If the market is reaching to news that what are possibilities for the next session to carry on, if the market is reacting, if the market is reacting to news that what are possibilities for the next session to carry on the trend according to news, or will it come back to that level before the news happens? Okay, so it is possible the market to have a completely reverse with the news, because these are the data that has creating an outlook, because especially the NFP is very important. Okay, so ADP non-farm and non-farm employment change important, because they are released monthly. Okay, so if you look at CPI, PPI, or some other data that you might see weekly, this one is monthly, and that's are important, because when most of the time those data helps to that what I call further policy adjustment or creation, because that's where central banks find what's happening with the economy, so what they should be doing. So that's why these data are important in terms of the market movement. And those who are trader or investors, they know that if this is the data, then the market will go this way, right? So here you can see the market, and interestingly, when the market has started to, here we saw the data has come out, but the market started to drop well below. So there was a possibility that this is going to have that risk of sentiment, right? So this is a risk of sentiment that we can see that bearish move on this. Now this is the intraday and also the daily price action that you will be looking at. Good evening, welcome. Thank you. Okay, here is the lower time frame market structure, and it's still maintaining the downtrend here. We have 2 minutes for the next one to come up. The news could impact the whole trend line, right? Okay, so yeah, this is what happened. The previous, pre-news, we saw that it was in this trend, that uptrend, and we saw with the current news, the market has changed the trend. So sometimes you see that with those high impact news, the market might have a short-term move and then reverse, but with the ADP, non-farm employment change, especially high impact news, sometimes creates a significant move in the market, and this is what happened. This could impact the whole, yes, sometime it can impact the whole trend and can reverse back for the daily low or daily high, creating a new trend. This is how the market does, because once the trend entirely breaks and create a new trend, start to from this higher high and higher low, start to create a lower high and lower low. A trend is not built in one day or in one moment. It also takes some time to again change. Okay, so you see that the final date has come out. The traders were mostly waiting for that. Okay, so you see that core retail sales 0.5%. The forecast was 0.3%. Both of them, so 3 of them has come out to be significantly higher. So okay, now that's what the market now finally trying to create a directional bias. So you can see data for ADP non-farm employment change, forecast was 41k, actual has come out to be 62k. Core retail sales 0.3% has come out to be 0.5%. Retail sales was forecast 0.5%, actual 0.6%. So because 3 of them are a stronger indicator of the economic strength, right? So there's more jobs, and then there has been a more sales. So retail sales data shows that spending has higher, because when there is more jobs, more that payouts, more spending, so there has been more retail sales. So that has now let's see that. Okay, we saw that DXY has got on this lower time frame initial breakout from this trend. Now at the moment we are looking at here in that zone on gold to see that if this is now how the price action is going to react to that level, and that is what we are looking at here. For us to be able to enter now, because all those data has come out, the market start to become a little volatile, but you want to trade in the direction of the trend. Now we are looking at here in that area. Okay, this is an initial move that you can see here. If we see that pullback here, we will be looking at entry. Okay, so now after this initial breakout, now if it drops for this pullback here, it's gonna be a good entry point. You wanna see one more rejection back below before it finally takes off. We can use even a pending order. If the market goes to break this high, we can look for going long for this fair value gap. We will be still waiting for the market to settle down. Just now we have seen there is a high impact news, so you want to see the market has settled and grab enough momentum. It had enough liquidity sweep, and then we'll be looking at that entry, planning for an entry. So we do open quite a few trades. Now you see this is the 1 hour price action. Looking at the multi-time frame will give you the best trade setup. Now what I'm looking at before I going for an entry, you see that starting off this, every 1 hour there was series of higher low. That means the market didn't break that series of higher low for a single hour, except this current this is a news hour candle, right? In this candlestick pattern, there has been ADP non-farm, retail sales, and core retail sales, quite a few high impact news. Now the market has created this low, chances that it's gonna drop again for another retest before it bounce back up, chances that. So therefore for us to be able to look for a buy, we want to see it has done enough retest. And this is where you can see that it's trying to break low again. And this 1 hour candle is important because if it drops down back again, 4724, and to look for buy, at least near there, it's coming there in that zone, because with this breakout, it's coming to this now, a pullback in that direction. So ADP US National Employment Report, private sector employment increased by 62,000 jobs. So you can see some kind of outlook here. ADP US National Employment Report, private sector employment increased by 62,000 jobs in March. Annual pay was up 4.5%. Okay, so that is okay. Now not yet. The market has dropped, and if you look at, I would still not be considering entering, just preparing, stay prepared, because you want to take the more once we have properly retest this lower shadow. It might form a double bottom, or even can come to break this low and then to go back up. But we will be going for the buy option so far. But this 1 hour candle, you don't know how much it drop. It might drop well below here. So this is what we are looking at for that entry back here. And also you need to keep eye how the market is actually currently at the moment in terms of the current geopolitics, and also with the current Middle East war. So you saw that the previous one, we looked at this one in Parliament. The Strait of Hormuz will not open. We have not held any negotiations, and we will not hold them. Okay, so there is if you look at, it has been some information from them, and this is another one from, so we looked at the ADP non-farm. Trump says he is considering pulling US out of paper tiger NATO. So that means US pulling out of NATO. That is another important news. And there's another one. This is 7 hours ago. Trump envisions withdrawal from Iran within 2 to 3 weeks. So this is a significant news, and that's where we saw that there was a risk on sentiment, and that's the thing that you can see. This time risk on sentiment really interesting. Gold is going bullish with the risk on sentiment because of the energy, and we saw that WTI has been downside since the news. You can see it directly influenced the oil price. So now going back again to XAUUSD, for us to be going long, because it's in an uptrend so far. It doesn't look to me very strongly bullish, neither be very strongly bearish. So that is where looking at for especially the 1 hour price action, giving a better understanding. Okay, this price action is still a possibility for entirely break here or continue to rise, depending on how the market structure is being created. You see this 15 minutes candle closing with a long wick. The buyers are not still stronger here. You still could see some kind of meltdown, and that's why I'm waiting. See, the market constantly changes its momentum in every. We still have 20 seconds for this candle. You see, it's trying to push back again. So depending on how the price action will be created, we'll be looking at that entry. Okay, what happened? There is breakout. Is there any breaking news? Sudden breakout. Something happened, guys. Market got very, very strong. Okay, so here is the market is it's pretty nasty in that area. All right, so can I find Trump? Iran's new regime president has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. Will consider when Hormuz Strait is open. Okay, so that might have that market. This kind of news really have a big impact. Iran's new regime president has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. Okay, so that is a pretty important news for the market to really react to that. That's why there's usually see that's why I always wait for the market to settle down after a big news. The market is like it reacts to those news all the time. And if you have a trade, no matter how good the strategy is, you see that it just gone up and down in both direction and has taken out of the trade, right? Which is very important to look at, which is what we are looking at here. Thank you. And now it grabs massive amount of liquidity. Let's see where he's heading back now. sometimes it will test your patience, which is necessary. So here is the market structure might be here preparing for retesting the daily support. I think there's no balancing the market. There is no balancing. Yes, this is how usually when the market wants to have a reversal, so the market does. Okay, this is a bearish engulfer on the 5-minute chart that you can see. Few times false breakout. That is signaling potentially downside. And we see that DXY. We'd like to look at also the USDJPY to see actually how the market is trying to create its structure in that area. Here sometime this market structure, I'm looking at this 30 minutes. See, looking at the top of this candlestick pattern and also bottom, we can see that there is a stronger rejection here, and Okay, so it's still maintaining the downtrend potentially, and the possibility here for this market to deepen further before the candle close. That you can see there is a possibility for breakup support as well as below EMA lines currently showing M pattern. Can we sell from above the target low? Yes, I'm now thinking of selling because the market structure is significantly bearish. Yeah, the market structure changes as well as below EMA lines currently. Yes. It formed a double bottom. Now also the candle close coming from the 1 hour. Now this is a very crucial level, and it's also the 4 hour support. I'm still open for both directional bias. I'm going to use a pending order, guys. So if the market breaks out here, this is a current imbalance here in the market. So if it breaks out, we should be able to see a short-term move here back above. So we'll be using the pending order. If the market breaks below, will not be selling because the moment from the below. Keep this zone here for 100 pip as a buy stop order above this high. Keeping stop loss below this low. Targeting here to that level. So it's gonna be using a buy stop. It's a pending order. So buy stop at 4735.76. Yep, thank you very much. I'm placing a buy stop order. Just breaking that support that you can see. Still, I'm looking at the buy stop because this drop can be very unpredictable here. Now the market may, you see there is a significant false breakout here. So but the overall trend in the market is still bullish. So let's see that if it is a trend change call. If it's a trend change call, we might see that entirely breaking below the daily low. See, now it's gone for the risk on sentiment. That's what you can see of the data. It's come out. So if the market breaks out of this level, we will be looking to go long. This is a pretty interesting market structure that we can see here in the area. So the pending order place is there, and we're waiting for that entry. Yeah, so continuation. It might, as I mentioned, you can see it's breaking off this. We'll be re-entering in that area. And by the way, guys, as we discussed, this is NFP week, and each NFP week here in this session, for the dedicated members, the mentorship opens each week few numbers. Now, today, as with that ADP non-farm employment change data has come out, and also Friday there will be NFP. So in these 2 days, we'll be taking few dedicated members to access to this indicator for this trading on the lower time frame and also the higher time frame. Now this is a complete signal generating indicator which giving me entry, stop loss and take profit target to get access to that. So here I'm sharing the premium link for joining, but there will be only limited numbers. So it's a direct entry to the channel. Once you are in the premium group, you can get all information on a regular day-to-day basis. So the numbers will be very limited. So if you see the link got expired, that means for those who have joined already, they have taken. So make sure you click the link as soon as you see that. So I will count down from 0 to 3 and then the link will be shared for you to join. And in addition to our previous scheduled Zoom session on Sunday as well. So this is a special invitation to access to this trade entry engine that is signal generator, but only to those who are real trader. I saw that some members doesn't trade, just come for fun. You know, I want you only the serious trader who are truly serious. Right, so I'm sending the link now. It's a premium link, but the number is limited, so it might get expired very immediately with few clicks on it. this is a premium signal link where there is a signal education, regular update, and all the information in that group. It's a premium signal and education group. Has been given, and if you see expired, that means it's taken, and probably on the Friday there might be some new position open. Thank you. Okay, the pending is order is there, and with this pending order, and we might get a trigger shortly after in that area. Okay, it's breaking out, and the pending order is given here. Thank you very much. And I think almost filled. So there might be 2 more remaining. Let's see. So yeah, 1 or 2 remaining. For those who have joined, you can go to the top of the group for the courses, where you can find courses, and also make sure you join also the chat group for the members, where you can find also the members feedback, live PNL update. Here's the market is, if you look at our pending order is above. If the market goes up here, we will be looking at entry in this trade. Thank you. Okay, if it is breaking out, we will be on the trade. Might get an active, still not active. But if it goes up, and we will be waiting to see to get to that level around. Okay, so my trade is getting active. Still not active yet. I don't know why my entry was 35.76, but I haven't got enter. The trade is not active yet. Okay, still not active. Okay, got active, and the trade is active. Wanna see that going up further to take profit. The market sometimes creates a very interesting market structure. And 4 hour, 1 hour, it was a 1 hour candlestick pattern that was significant. And here because the market has created imbalance, and I will also fully explain this trade, this strategy, why I have opened that. Okay, now the long-term bull market, long-term uptrend, looking at this market to eventually break that high. Cool. We are in profit. Are you guys in profit? That's the patience pays up. Not a big one, but still 21 people. You wanna see pushing up further. Cool. That is moving up, and I'm on it. 45 pip. Okay, still running in, and 43 pip. As I'm taking profits, might come for deeper pullback, and I'm exceeding with the running trade. Cool. Profit closed. And now we'll be going through the education behind the trade. So to trade today, we don't need a lot of trades. We need only 2 trades. Okay, so it's now in this area. We are out, and there has been some kind of pullback, as we mentioned earlier. This trend is trying to bounce off that level. I guess you guys also getting ready for the next one. Hello sir, why gold keep falling despite the war? Wasn't it supposed to be skyrocketed? Okay, so firstly, gold was in a bullish. If you look at, there was a massive bullish breakout, the pre-war, right? Now, the current move on gold was actually, I wouldn't say it's a drop, it's a pullback. It's a pullback for the future movement. Let me tell you guys, this is gonna change the way you look at the market and change the way you see the market. Okay? Pay attention, then you will understand. You'll see that over and over again this happens. You see that whenever there is any high impact news comes, for example, a high impact news came, that is bullish for gold, right? Try to understand what I'm saying. For example, gold price is here, all right? And suddenly there is a news. News might be about, let's say, economic bad news, for example. Now, usually economic bad news creates bullish for gold. So the high impact news here, there's a bad news for economy, maybe long-term impact. We expect that gold will go up. More often, you'll see that the market will come down first, and then we'll have a big jump back to the upside. So therefore, start to think that, okay, the news is for bullish for gold, but why it has come down in that moment? And then you'll see it will go a lot. This is how the market does, is because when this news has come, it's bullish for gold, right? So that means the buyers will buy the gold, but the buyers doesn't want to buy the gold with higher price. They want to buy from the lower price, and that's why the market drop. It's the will of the buyers and seller, right? The market is in fact. If you look at, this is the same thing happen here. Gold is bullish, but this drop is actually preparation for another bullish move, because the market cannot go without a pullback. If you look at here, quite a few months the market has made significant trend. There was a stronger bullish trend, and this monthly move was in fact strong liquidity grab for potentially another move back to the upside for the long-term picture, which is, in a healthy market, in a healthy trending market, you need that pullback to happen. So it has happened and will continue to happen, right? Now, we just successfully closed one trade. The most important part here is to remain in high win rate. We had one trade earlier. So another one is here. Keep trading, keep growing, keep learning. That's the goal of a trader, right? Now, we had a few entries on the premium group where also you can access. I think the link might not work anymore because the number filled, but that's not end, guys. It's just the beginning. We have coming up NFP, and we'll be able to access from the NFP few more members who really dedicated to take your trading to the next level. If you're in the academy, the only thing that you need to be is a dedicated member, right? Dedicated means not for anything but for your trading. Learn, grow, and become an independent trader, right? Trading is freedom. The goal of trader is to have a laptop or PC and go anywhere, trade, and consistently grow. Very dedicated. If that, it doesn't take much longer. The only thing that you need is follow the strategy, keep learning, keep growing. That will give you the next level of trading. Gold's drop after Iran war was mainly due to profit taking, a stronger dollar, rising interest rate. Yes, exactly. You are to the point. This is what I was taking. This gold drop is basically a profit taking. When a market trend, it cannot go forever up. It has to come down for another upside. And that's what happened. So the market, if you look at the monthly, it drop is basically potentially a profit taking or a pullback. Now we could see that another possible upside. However, subjected to change because of the war. If something happened that unexpectedly, we might see also the unexpected move in the market. There's a news has come out just 42 minutes. Trump, Iran's new regime president just asked. Okay, so Trump, Iran's new regime president just asked the USA for a ceasefire. Okay, so that was actually big move that we have seen in the market, liquidity sweep. And we will consider when Hormuz Strait is open. Until we are blasting Iran. Okay, so when US dollar strengthens, gold usually falls in price. That's because gold is priced in dollar. So stronger dollar makes gold more expensive. Exactly. Gold trades against the dollar, right? So there's Truth Social post. Iran's new regime president, much less radicalized than far more intelligent than his predecessors, has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. We will consider when Hormuz Strait is open, free and clear. Until then, we are blasting Iran into oblivion, or as they say, back to the Stone Ages. President DJ. Okay, so that means there is a new regime in Iran which has president they ask for a ceasefire, and we can see that the market has reacted to that news significantly. So if you look at here now, that if you look at this liquidity sweep here, okay, that's a this liquidity sweep is what that news has brought into here. There was a massive liquidity sweep that we have seen. Marginal, refer yourself to the DXY index and the upcoming news in 30 minutes. If DXY index rise, then gold rise alongside. It will just drop, but still be careful. Stay calm. Yes, look, this is what if the gold is, XAUUSD means that it's trading with dollar, right? Dollar rises, automatically will make XAUUSD to fall, but you know that sometimes they both move in the same direction. This is a very unusual phenomenon, but that happens. Sometime Trump's speech, I think, is if you look at, it's not today, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow in my zone. It's in the noon time, so it might be in the evening time in USA. So we are almost. This is another great trading session. Yesterday also we had a win trade. Today also win trade. Most of the time we have winner, but except sometime it doesn't go in our favor, which is a part of trading. You need an up to go down. You need to go down to go up. So I will not be surprised if the Iranian comes out in the next hour to say they are not talking to Trump. Yes, this is true. Absolutely, I will not be also surprised. That's very good comment. I will also not be surprised. Very, yeah. It might be coming out. Might be coming the same way, but looks like that. This time was pretty confident. Let's see that what happened. Might not come, might come, because something cannot keep going. But however, if it comes up, then probably what is happening, which was saying that blasting could be keep going, and what we don't know what's gonna bringing that, but as a trader, we just rely on the visible information, what we have, and depending on, right? In the meantime, traders, did you like this stream? Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. And also, as we are looking at for the rest of the session, how the market might be doing. The thing is that we look to see some of the economic news as well. All right, now we are almost nearing to the end of this session, and I believe that you guys have enjoyed this session. I thought Trump was due to speak. No, this is coming, the speech is coming, I think, tomorrow with yes, it's tomorrow, and that might be interesting, that coming up tomorrow. So what we are looking at here in terms of the current quite a few breaking news has really shake the market. Now it's moving in that direction here with the current price action here in the area that we are looking at. The market of this level again reverse, we can see that back in that direction, which could be that the price action going again back above, and as the longer term trend here from the daily perspective showing that it is bullish, you see that that's where it is heading back. And in the meantime, traders, I hope that you are enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting. Wait for you. This is a big trading days, and we are back to back, winning every single day, which is good to see that. And I think we had the highest number of win rate in this live session that we are trading. I believe that you are witnessing it, which is good to see that many of the members every single day enjoying this live session trading here. And with the upcoming live session, which is also next one coming tomorrow, and I believe you are really happy to join there. And when you are coming tomorrow, make sure you keep your risk manager tool while you are opening, so that you can take the trade with proper lot sizing. Thank you very much. Yes, Trump is speaking tonight at. Okay, so yes, there is probably we are confusing with this one. I'm looking at yeah. So there is a time zone difference. That's why it's coming difference between you and me. Okay, so depending, it's confusing sometimes because in my zone it's almost ending the night, right? I'm in the middle of the night. But in your zone, probably you are in the morning. So in your zone, if it is speech is coming in the night, it's for me is tomorrow. That's why. Okay, that pullback is busted. Third pullback. Yeah. All right. So this is a great trading day, and with all of you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this session, and I'll see you there again shortly after with another live session. Until that, stay well, stay happy. We'll see you again very soon shortly. Keep the profit with you and trading account, and look for the next one coming up shortly after.